Hi guys, I'm Savannah White. So you guys have all heard the story about the 4 girls that were stranded along the Congo River for 10 days, right? Well, today it's our opportunity to have an exclusive interview with them. Okay, how about we start with you guys introducing yourselves? Would you like to go first?
I'm Alexis Schwartz and I'm 19.
I'm Kendall Fouts and I'm 18.
And you guys had 2 other girls on this trip with you, and they were Kennedy and Kelsey, right? And they were how old?
They were both 18.
Okay. And so let's start this story from the beginning. Why did you guys decide to go on a kayaking trip in the first place?
Well, it was Kelsey's idea because she wanted to get away from her life, and she just wanted to take a break, and she thought it would be a good idea for us too.
And you all 4 were from America, right?
Yeah.
So how did you choose the Congo River of all the rivers?
It's supposed to be a lot of fun because there are a lot of rapids and it's really deep, and you can see a bunch of wildlife along the river, and we thought that would be nice.
So that's how you guys ended up there. And was everybody excited to go on the trip?
I was for the adventure of it, but I'm not sure Kennedy was. I kind of forced her to go with me.
And why, if she didn't want to go, why did you guys force her?
I'm not really close to Kendall or Kelsey at all, and I didn't want to be alone with just them because I don't know them very well. And so I thought I'd bring one of the people I do know very well with me.
And were you excited to go on the trip?
Yeah, I wanted to go because I wanted to support Kelsey, and it would be a nice adventure to go to the Congo.
And how long did you plan to be on the river from starting point to ending point?
It was supposed to be 3 hours total, and we would just go from one town to the next.
And that didn't happen, did it? So from what I know, or what I've heard about your guys' trip, you guys started out with a guide going with you. What happened to the guide?
Well, we were about an hour into our trip, and a Goliath tigerfish came up, and he started to eat the guide, and that's where it all started to go bad.
So you guys ended up walking to your rescue. How did you guys have to walk if you guys started out with kayaks? How did you not have those anymore?
Well, when the guide got taken out of his boat, Alexis decided to jump in, and I jumped in after her to try and help the guide. Kelsey couldn't get out of the kayak because Kennedy was taking up too much room, so Kelsey just flipped the kayak and got Kennedy out too at the same time. So that's how we lost all the kayaks. We only got 2 backpacks after that.
And you guys started out with 4?
Yep.
Okay, and what was your plan to survive after you guys realized you lost your kayaks and you were stranded on the side of this river?
We just followed the river down in the same direction we were planning to go, and we stopped and we would camp in the mountains and then light fires so people would see us in the mountains.
Did you guys ever give up hope at all along your journey down?
There was some times where we couldn't get any food, or we would have really bad weather and we would just get really down, but I don't think we ever actually lost hope of getting rescued. We never thought that we were actually going to die. Because we all knew that it was fairly easy to get down the river and just follow it. The only problem would be animals and our own selves getting in the way.
And you guys had to have had a shelter, right?
Yeah.
So how did you guys build the shelter, or find the stuff to build a shelter? Because, like I said, I haven't heard very much, but from what I heard, you guys, all there were was trees and plants and stuff, wasn't there?
Yeah, Kelsey decided that she was going to make the shelter, and she just took a bunch of sticks and branches, and she made that into kind of a teepee, and she put leaves over it so that the rain wouldn't get in.
And did it work?
Yeah, sometimes there would be water getting in, but since we were all huddled together, we would all be warm enough in the night.
Did you guys have to build a new shelter each place you went at the end of the day?
Yeah, because we weren't gonna carry around sticks and leaves because that would just be extra weight and that would just slow us down.
Okay. And you guys had to have had a fire, right? So who built the fire, found the stuff to build a fire? Who did all that work?
I built the fire, but everybody helped with finding the wood. It took me like 2 hours to build a fire because usually you wouldn't be able to find like totally dry wood because it usually rained in the Congo. And finding down trees that were dry was very hard to do.
And who found all the food for you guys? Because you guys couldn't have had that much food in your backpacks for 3 hours. So what did you guys do for food?
Well, I was the one who was sent to hunt the food, just find whatever we could that was edible to eat.
And from the article that was written in the newspaper, I heard you were the one that carried a spear with you.
Yeah.
How did you get stuck doing that?
I'm not really sure.
Well, we all decided that she would be better at aiming the spear, and since it was just a piece of sharpened rock tied to a stick, it wasn't that heavy, so she could carry it since everybody else was carrying like backpacks or nets or water or something like that.
Okay. And so with 4 girls, you guys couldn't have imagined all trying to be the leader of everyone. So who was the main leader of your guys' group?
I'd like to think that I was the leader because I like kept everybody in line, but we were all like a leader of a certain job. Alexis was in charge of getting most of the food. Kennedy was in charge of finding fish and stuff like that, but usually she just ended up singing and not even listening to us. And Kelsey was in charge of building the shelter because she was probably the best at doing that in the group.
Okay, so back to Kennedy. How did she die?
Well, it was about the 5th day, and we were all really tired of Kennedy singing. So we were just walking, and Alexis decided that she wanted to sit down, so we all sat down. But Kelsey wanted to go ahead and look for any obstacles ahead. And Kennedy started complaining about her feet because she wore heels to match her outfit. And she started singing the Titanic song. And Kelsey just snapped. She turned around and grabbed the spear from Alexis and threw it at Kennedy and hit her in the heart. She died almost instantly, and Kelsey was pretty proud of herself for doing that because she was just so fed up.
So were you sad about her dying? Because at the beginning you said that she was your closest, or one of your closest friends.
Yeah, I was devastated and I was really angry at Kelsey for doing that.
So did any one of you say something to Kelsey about how you were feeling, or about asking her why she did that or anything?
Well, she was pretty much yelling at Kelsey, saying, "Why did you do that? You just committed murder. You could go to prison for that." But I was pretty much telling Kelsey, I was like, I probably would have done the same thing too, and stuff like that, because me and Kelsey were both fed up with her singing.
So now I get that you guys were annoyed with her when you guys were on your trip, but now do you guys feel any different? Do you think maybe she shouldn't have been killed?
Well, I think at the moment we were acting a little crazy because we were really hungry and tired and we hadn't had anything actually good to eat. So we were kind of acting irrationally at the time, but I think it's kind of nice that she's like no longer here because she won't annoy people anymore.
Do you guys ever think of her family or how they're feeling about this?
I know, I didn't know personally, but I heard that her mom, like, she was devastated when she found out that Kennedy died. But I'm not sure about Kennedy's brothers. I'm pretty sure some of them were probably relieved, but obviously Cutler, he wouldn't be able to know that his only sister died.
And what was their reaction to Kelsey? Were they upset with her?
It was too late for them to actually get justice for Kennedy dying.
Because Kelsey had died too, right? So let's go on to that. How was her death?
Well, the day before she killed Kennedy, she said that she got bit by a big mosquito, and she started to vomit, and she like lost her appetite, and she had like rashes, and she was getting really tired. And we figured it was just like the Nile virus, and it wasn't that severe. But like about into the 8th day, we found her dead in the tent.
Did you guys have any trouble with any animals or hostile natives?
The only problem we had was with animals, and that was with Kennedy. One day she decided that she was gonna like go out and she was gonna find an animal, and she found some baby bush pigs, and she started picking them up and petting them, and the mom came back and started to chase Kennedy. And that was when Alexis came back, and she found Kennedy running from the pig and threw a spear at the animal to stop it.
And so, away from that, who rescued you and how were you rescued?
Well, we were rescued by a French pilot named Pierre Monet, and he took us back to America.
Okay, and did he ask what you were doing or anything? Did you guys have to go to a hospital or did you go straight to your families?
We pretty much went straight to our families because we knew that they would be worried because we were supposed to be back like the next day because it was only supposed to be a 3-hour tour. But after 10 days, they were getting like really worried about how we were doing. And we knew that they would be worried sick, but we had no way of contacting them, and that just made us really edgy and worried about them.
Okay, and so that concludes everything that I had wanted to know. Is there anything else you guys would like to add to this?
We would just like want to say that our thoughts go out to Kennedy's family and Kelsey's family because we know that they didn't just lose a sister or a daughter, they lost a friend.
And thank you guys for coming here to be interviewed, and that's it for the day. Thank you.